That's the uniqueness of China. And we're not going to talk about that method. You're going to have to study more and come to a retreat to experience that, right? Little enticement for you guys. Okay, so the 4 methods that we'll talk about is, there's actually 5, but these are the 4 main ones. Mindful yoga, and then loving kindness, meditation on love, and then meditation on breath, and then 1 minute Zen. And you'll combat our being from kind of physiological, psychological, emotional, to kind of heal ourselves, right? To cultivate ourselves. Ready to do some yoga? We'll start with the yoga. Okay. A little crowded today, but there's room. You just find yourself room in which you have, you can extend your arms. But before that, we'll go over some of the purpose for mindful yoga. First one is mindful yoga. In terms of our tradition, yoga practice serves as a transition to meditation practice. So we do the yoga before sitting, different stretches and so on. And this yoga, my teacher, in traditionally Chan Zen practice, because meditators are meditating for long hours in a monastery, in a temple, in pre-modern time. Most of their body are kind of flexible. But when he came here in 1976, he found that most people here are just, their bodies are stiff, they're not used to it. It's a different culture, so he had to, scratch his head and think up some way to help the practitioners physically. So he developed these stretching exercises based on the Hatha Yoga, which is an Indian tradition, in combination with Chinese kind of martial arts stretching. And the kind of things that he has learned when he was a novice monk in a monastery in China. Dharma, or these kind of particular stretching exercises to strengthen the body. So it's a kind of combination. But he wanted to develop a form in which people of all ages, all body types can do. So something simple enough and yet effective enough for meditators. So these are kind of yoga for meditators. It's not really the type of strenuous yoga like at yoga centers in which they teach Ashtanga yoga. Let me say Ashtanga yoga, like the foot over here, the leg over here, do some balancing oneself with one hand. Not that kind of yoga, okay? We don't need that to do meditation. We just need movements that can help the body, to strengthen the body, right? So you don't worry, and we can all do them. So, so we turn back. First, it functions as a transition from activity to stillness. It's a whole package. Before you sit, you do yoga. After you sit, which we'll teach, we do self-massage, because sometimes a lot of energy flow in your body gets stuck. Old injuries, painful areas, muscles are healed, tendons are healed, bones are healed, but there's an energy block there, right? Especially old energy or old injuries or accumulated stress points. Like if you type all the time and you meditate, over here are, right? So they cause kind of energy or chi blocks. So you do stretching before, and you sit, and at the end you do self-massage. This whole package is more holistic and kind of beneficial. Second, it's actually a technique to relax, loosen, and focus the body. How do we mean by focus the body? We're not just doing yoga and having wandering thoughts. When we are doing yoga in our tradition, our body and minds are one. This means whenever the body is doing, the mind is right there. So you are aware of two things: sensations and movements. Sensations primarily when the body is relaxed now. Movements, the different movements that we do together. Okay. Third one, if you get used to focusing on movements and sensations, you can use this principle to do what I will teach later, which is 1 minute Zen. Okay, so in all activities, you can actually transform opportunities in daily life into practice, such as washing dishes, walking to the bus stop, staying on the, do we have subways? No? Okay.
Rapid transit.
Rapid transit, staying on these things, or ritually, things that you do, the flight of stairs and so on. You can actually use that as an opportunity to relax the body and focus on the movements. I'm talking with people. So we train ourselves, this is a very systemic approach in which we train ourselves to concretely be in the body, under the skin. It's very important because in most of our lives, our body is doing something, our mind is somewhere else. We live a life in which our body and mind are split, like schizophrenia kind of, we just split personality. So we are not in tune with the experiences of the body, So if most of the time you are aware of the body as an anchor in your life, so most of the time you actually feel very anchored. The movements, you wouldn't have random movements. You wouldn't, before the onset of stomach pain, before it arrives, you're already in tune with the signs of what's happening. Because you're very in tune with the body. I mean, stomach aches and different things doesn't happen like that. You see stress, and starting to have stomach problem. It accumulates. So we're actually missing all the previous development of physiologically, and then you just experience the end result, which is pain. When that happens, you're already in tune with the body, and you can relax it, and regulate the breath, and stabilize the mind. Body, mind, breath, like the pyramid I talked about, the tripod, right? So most of the time, for practitioners, I mean, if you do this 21 days, I talk about 21 days as a scientific threshold to develop habit. Right? If you're 21 days, most of the time you're in tune with the body, or I'll talk about it later, 5 times a day in these things, 5 situations, walking, flight of stairs, first bite of your lunch, every time the cell phone rings, or whatever, or talking to people, just 5 times, 1 minute at a time. You practice this method, right? Mindful yoga, the principle. Whatever the body's doing, the mind is right there. Like a yoga, be in tune with the body. Then you will start to develop a very positive and very powerful, beneficial tool to anchor yourself in daily life. When we are anchored, have you seen those, in Chinese call it budao, kind of this blow up kind of air doll, and the weight is on the bottom, you punch it and it kind of comes back, right? Bottom heavy. If most of your time you're anchored in your body, body and mind, you're very aware of the body, your own body movements and your sensations are very relaxed, then attacks from the enemies or whatever the stressors in life won't have too much effect. And that's only the yoga practice that we do. We'll do 3 more. And one of the yoga exercises is called 8-form moving Zen. And now it's time to fold up your towel. Find yourself a space. There's some space here. Some of you can stand on your cushion, while others stand between cushions on the floor. So you can kind of stand staggered. Like for example, this row to my right, one person on the cushion, one person on the side, one person on the cushion, one person on the side. So stand staggered so you can create space for yourself. Right?
Let's continue.
And we'll do these 8 together. There's space here. By all means, please come. Those of you in the back that kind of not enough space. You you can stand forward more. So people in the second, third, fourth row. Someone you can stand here. How many of you feel kind of if you don't have space, you can stand back here.
And I think we got some more room outside where we have a TV too. Would that work? A sound?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, but it's best to just stay here.
Okay.
It's best to just stay here. Yeah, we have more room here. So when we do this yoga, what are the two principles? What are we meditating on? Remember? First one is movements. Second, sensation. Okay. So first, feet together, join our palms together. When we join our palms, it's a center point. It's a kind of return and beginning point. Our eyes look at the tip of the middle fingers. And very quickly, scan the body from head to toe. Make sure the body is relaxed. There are three main areas. Space between your eyes, your eyebrows, facial cheek muscles, right, that whole region. Second, shoulders. Third, stomach, abdomen. Okay, now hands to the side. Feet apart, shoulder width. This first exercise is to get the body moving, to get it flowing. I hope this won't create too much noise. Okay, so we basically swing the arm like this, begin slowly, feet apart. You want to have a very stable stance. Feet apart. And slowly, slap the arm a little bit higher, like this. You begin like this, and then later, one arm over the shoulder, another arm in the back. Arms should be relaxed. Movement's natural. You know, some people do this, which is wrong. They do. Your arm's supposed to be like jello. Your arm's supposed to slap. Use your hip. Use your hip to help you to swing your arms. So very quickly, your blood flow will go through the body. Be relaxed. And then slow down. Come to a standstill. Meanwhile, your mind is with the body. Right? Body's movement and sensation. Stay with your own body. Go back to the starting point. Look at the tip of the finger. Return to the relaxed state. Second movement. Feet apart. It's called neck exercises. You want to have a good stance. Here's how we do the neck exercises. First, to your left. Move your head to your left. Let it drop. Don't start to raise the shoulders. Shoulders are relaxed. Dip it to the left. Breathe into the movement. So when you breathe into it, exhale, lower, lower. So feel the stretch here on the right, while the head dip to the left. 3 places to relax. Facial muscles, shoulders. Are they relaxed? And stomach area. And slowly to the right. Eyes could be open. Exhale, lower the head. Okay, come back. But do it at your own pace a few times, okay? Left and right.